Okay, so this next section, I like to just kind of give my piece of advice would be just to not push the child. So with play, we want to be playful, um, and not make them do anything. So like kind of bribing them, saying, if you play with me, I'll give you something. What I tend to do with play in general is maybe I'll introduce something and they'll kind of look over at me. And if they are interested, they'll start to come over to me. If not, then they'll show me ways of saying, hey, I'm not interested, which is kind of why I've separated. I call this a data sheet, but I separated like the top portion as interested and the bottom portion as disinterested. So when I was talking about Mr. Potato Head and the cash register. Let's say they're like, what are you doing? I don't really care about that. You keep dutying. I don't care about your duty. Then I would just mark like the cash register or playing store with Mrs. Potato Head as disinterested. And then there's two parts, the very top and the very bottom. There's cues. Cues would be, how did you know that they really liked it? How did you know that they didn't like it? Because they might not outright tell me like that's dumb or I didn't like it or anything like that. They just might not say anything. They might turn their body. Maybe they might walk away, but they might squinch, their noses or whatever. But they will show you. And so being able to write down those cues will kind of get into your mind when it comes to other play ideas and play activities. But what I would like to say when you don't like push them is that maybe we could just put these on hold for later because they might be interested in it later. Maybe they're just more interested in just maybe identifying the items, putting them on, or whatever it is, and keep that in the interested. And when you're thinking about like what they are interested. Let's say if it was pegs and they just love that fine motor or the silliness of the face or whatever it is, can we find another activity that's similar? So something that maybe is using um, pegs, or maybe it was like the silly faces, because there are other like emojis sort of games or activities that you could introduce to expand their like play repertoire as well. So even though like let's say we introduce an activity and you only spent like a minute because you're just kind of like they're just not interested, that's okay. That's information for you to move forward with something else. But it doesn't mean that they don't want it forever. It's just maybe not right now.